Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel. This is Miguel with season 2 of how to combine the DC deck building sets. Then this is our 6th deck profile for the season. In this episode we'll be covering Rivals 4, Shazam vs Black Adam. Since Rivals 4 follows the Confrontations game mode with the keywords confront, block, and assist, we'll only use cards that work in standard multiplayer format. For the theme of the main deck, we're going to focus primarily on Shazam and Black Adam, their supporting cast, and Justice League Dark to reference the magic that enhances the two characters. For availability, we're pulling from the original set through Justice League Dark, Rivals 1 through 4, Crisis 1 through 4, and Crossover Pack 1 through 9. For consistency, the main deck will be at 125 with 30 heroes, villains, equipment, and superpowers with 5 locations. And now the deck profile. For heroes, at cost 2, we have doubles of Billy Batson and Tracy 13. Billy Batson supports superpower builds by transforming into Shazam for a huge boost in power in the early game. Tracy 13 is a low-cost defense card that can refill your hand by 2 from sealing herself when defending. At cost 3, we have doubles of Raven and Madame Xanadu. Raven can serve dual purposes in any deck by providing power and draw support. Madame Xanadu can cycle through your deck in order to make way for better incoming cards. At cost 4, we have singles of Rosa and Victor Vasquez, Takitani, with doubles of Stargirl, Blue Devil, Dr. Kurt Langstorm, Khalid Nassour, and Mary Bromfield. Rosa and Victor Vasquez work best in 3 or lower cost decks in order to recover cards like Billy Batson, which marked Witchfire, Lasso of Truth, and Sealing Spell, to name a few. Stargirl is a defense card that can put a card from the destroyed pile on the bottom of the main deck as a way to prevent it from emptying. Blue Devil can stack your deck with a card from your discard pile while defending as a way to set up future turns. Dr. Kurt Langstorm works best in equipment-focused decks to transform into Man-Bat to further thin out your deck. Khalid Nassour is a defense card that can help advance sealing strategies without losing too much tempo. Mary Bromfield supports both hero/villain builds by transforming into Mary Marvel for a huge boost in power. At cost 5, we have a single copy of Hawkgirl, Deadman, Detective Chimp, and Ragman Redeemer. Hawkgirl can serve multiple purposes in any deck by providing power, destroy, and defense support. Deadman is a disruptive attack that can also extend your own turn by borrowing strong cards from opponents and can draw a card if you choose to play a cost 0 from their hand. Detective Chimp supports equipment builds by gaining or sealing the top card of the main deck. Ragman Redeemer is a payoff card for sealing multiple villains when he transforms into Ragman Soul Powered and provides you a huge boost in power. At cost 6, we have a single copy of Isis, Jay Garrick, and Kent Nelson. Isis can serve multiple purposes in villain-focused decks by providing power, destroy, and defense support. Jay Garrick is a reveal to defend card that can discard itself to gain a valuable card from the lineup. Kent Nelson can extend your turns by playing cards from the lineup at the cost of sealing them. At cost 7, we have a single copy of Dr. Fate, The Wizard, and Zatanna Zatara. Dr. Fate scouts the main deck to give out more buy options while providing a huge boost in power. The wizard supports superpower builds since the word of power is a superpower and can recur them from any zone by providing a huge utility boost in either power or drawing. Zatanna Satara can create huge turns by replaying the bottom card of your deck twice while also providing +2 power herself. For villains, at cost 2, we have doubles of Witch Mark Witched Fire. Witch Marked Witch Fire is an early destroy engine that can help remove undesirable cards from your hand and score pile. At cost 3, we have a single copy of Sloth, Lust, with doubles of Witch Mark Manitou Dawn, Blackbriar Thorn, and Dr. Destiny. Sloth can thin out your deck or provide draw support at the cost of gaining a weakness. Lust can dish out weaknesses to clog foes' decks with undesirable cards at the cost of gaining a weakness. Witch Marked Manitou Dawn is a standard power card that can seal itself to guarantee that each foe gains a weakness. Blackbriar Thorn supports superpower builds by helping you get rid of undesirable cards. Dr. Destiny is a great defense that can set up future turns by putting a card you want to save for next turn. At cost 4, we have a single copy of Greed and Pride with doubles of Phobia, Papa Midnight, Solomon Grundy, and Witch Mark Black Orchid. Greed can cycle through your deck quickly in the early game at the cost of gaining a weakness each time it is used or gained. Pride is a standard destroy and power card at the cost of not being able to destroy your weaknesses. Phobia can attack and make foes discard a card into any player's discard pile that did not avoid the attack or the attacker. This means that players can apply pressure on a single opponent. Papa Midnight supports sealing strategies without losing too much tempo because he can replace himself with a draw after sealing a valuable card. Solomon Grundy is a reliable defense card because he cycles himself back into the deck instead of staying in the discard pile, giving players repeated access to the defense throughout the game. Witch Mark Black Orchid is an attack against ongoing heavy strategies and can disrupt decks that rely too much on locations. At cost 5, we have a single copy of Famine, Circe, and Felix Faust. Famine can make the lineup smaller for the whole round to prevent players from having a lot of buy options. Circe is a transform card for sealing superpower strategies that can recover a superpower from your discard pile or score pile once transformed. Felix Faust is a transform card for sealing equipment strategies that can recover an equipment from your discard pile or score pile once transformed. At cost 6, we have a single copy of Sabak, Black Adam, Enchantress, Floronic Man, and Clarion. Sabak is here as an attack against superpowers while providing a standard boost in power. Black Adam is a counter-attack defense card that punishes attackers with weaknesses. Enchantress can serve dual purposes in providing power and defense because she can completely turn around attacks on opponents by forcing the attack to be sealed after defending. Floronic Man supports location-heavy decks by turning your locations into progress toward a stronger transform formed while still acting as a standard +3 power card when needed. Clarion is a strong setup card and draw card because he can selectively pull low-cost combo pieces while arranging future draws. At cost 7, we have a single copy of Arion the Sorcerer and Negral. Arion rewards balanced deck building by encouraging players to mix superpowers and equipment together in order to unlock his transform form, which can turn any deck into your discard pile to pull any card from there. Nergal is a dangerous late game attack because higher VP decks become vulnerable to gaining multiple weaknesses at once, which can quickly clog future decks. For equipment, at cost 2, we have doubles of Lasso of Truth and Houdini Key. Lasso of Truth is another low-cost standard defense card that can be bought in the early game when you cannot afford to buy a Mystic Ritual. Houdini Key is a disruptive card that lets players temporarily steal locations for additional value during each turn. At cost 3, we have doubles of Helmet of Fate, Ace of Winchesters, and 8-dimensional map. Helmet of Fate can mulligan undesirable cards when defending, making you draw a card for each one discarded minus itself. Ace of Winchester helps refresh the lineup by cycling out undesirable cards while rewarding players for destroying higher cost cards with additional draw support. 8-dimensional map is a setup focused transform card because it rewards players for running larger cost cards while still remaining useful as a draw card if you cannot transform it immediately. At cost 4, we have doubles of Soul Taker Sword, Signature Trenchcoat, Man-Bat Serum, Moonblade New Moon, and Suit of Souls. Soul Taker Sword is a standard destroy card that can help thin out your deck. Signature Trenchcoat gives players access to cards with cost 5 or less from the destroyed pile, making it useful alongside heavy destroy strategies. Man-Bat Serum is a strong destroy engine because it can trigger both as a discard and sealing effects, allowing players to clean up undesirable cards while still generating power. Moonblade New Moon supports destroy heavy focused decks because it rewards players for consistently destroying cards while still functioning as a standard power card when it cannot transform. Suit of Souls supports sealing strategies by rewarding players who constantly seal villains with additional draw support. At cost 5, we have a single copy of Magician's Corset with doubles of Cosmic Staff and Heart of Darkness. Magician's Corset can generate a huge power boost if you choose all players, including yourself, though it comes at a cost of letting everyone draw a card. Cosmic Staff is a defense card which discards itself to avoid an attack and gains the bottom card of the main deck. This works in conjunction with Stargirl because she can set up specific cards from the destroyed pile you want to gain with Cosmic Staff. Heart of Darkness is a payoff card for hero sealing strategies because it gradually builds towards Eclipso while still helping progress the sealing strategy from the lineup. Eclipso can give you a huge power boost for having sealed heroes. At cost 6, we have a single copy of Scarab Necklace and doubles of Dreamstone. Scarab Necklace rewards diverse deck building by encouraging players to use multiple card types. Even before transforming, it still provides draw support and flexible destroy effects to help maintain deck consistency. Black Adam can recover cards with cost 5 or less that each have different card types. Dreamstone is a straightforward attack card that can clog opponents' decks with weaknesses while still providing a reliable boost in power. At cost 7, we have a single copy of Vestments of Fate and Wizard Staff. Vestments of Fate is a lucrative transform card that can grant you another oversized superhero in Dr. Fate at the cost of sealing this card and a hero in your hand. Wizard Staff supports both hero and or villain builds by being able to recover one of each or refill your hand by 2. For superpowers, at cost 2, we have doubles of Stamina of Shu and Sealing Spell. Stamina of Shu provides draw support in destroy heavy strategies. Sealing Spell is an early sealing engine that can help remove undesirable cards from your deck. At cost 3, we have doubles of Strength of Hercules, Divination, and Power of the Green. Strength of Hercules provides destroy support to hero builds as a way to thin out your deck. Divination provides draw support as a way to quickly cycle through your deck, and it can be combined with Zatanna Zatara in order to play the bottom card of your deck. Power of the Green provides a huge boost in power while you control a location and can recover a location from your discard pile. At cost 4, we have doubles of Stamina of Atlas, Strength of Aman, Word of Power, Mystic Control, and Power of the Red. Stamina of Atlas provides a way to cycle through your deck quickly and can organize the top of your deck in search of better cards. Strength of Aman is a standard card that can provide a standard boost in power while having the option to destroy a card in your hand. Word of Power provides a standard boost in power and draw support if you destroy, discard, or steal this card from any zone. Mystic Control can scout foe's top card with his attack and discard any cards you don't want them to use. Power of the Red is here to discard cards in your hand that you don't want to use in favor of drawing new ones. At cost 5, we have doubles of Tegroff and Magic. Tegroff is a standard attack that can reduce foe's hand by 1 and can be combined with Mystic Control since foes might want to save a card for future plays. Magic can replay cards you have already played at the cost of destroying them at the end of the turn. At cost 6, we have single copies of Mystic Bolts, Possession, Chains of Fate, and Incorporeal. Mystic Bolts lets you recover up to 2 cards with cost 5 or less and different costs from your discard pile to use previous effects. Possession forces foes to reveal their hands and can turn their own attacks against them. Chains of Fate furthers the seal mechanic by being able to seal a card in play and while defending to resolve transform effects like Ragman Redeemer and Heart of Darkness. Incorporeal is a standard reveal to defend card that can extend your turns by playing a hero or villain from the lineup at the cost of not being able to buy them. At cost 7, we have a single copy of Courage of Mehem and Speed of Mercury. Courage of Mehem supports villain builds by being able to recover a villain and put them on top of your deck. Speed of Mercury supports low-cost card decks as a draw support to cycle through your deck quickly and extend your turns. For locations, we have a single copy of House of Mystery, The Rot, Oblivion Bar, Kahndaq, and Monument Point. House of Mystery, The Rot, and Monument Point act as a draw engine for their specific requirements. Oblivion Bar is an ongoing defense that can discard a card with cost 1 or greater. Just remember to hold on to your draw cards to refill your hand if you defend against multiple attacks. Kahndaq is a recovery engine that can set up future plays in a destroy heavy deck. For the transform pile, for heroes, we have doubles of Shazam, Mary Marvel, and Ragman Soul Powered. Shazam and Mary Marvel provide a huge boost in power, but they revert. Ragman Soul Powered has the effect +1 power for each sealed villain that can provide you a huge boost in power. For villains, the Transformation Zone has June Moon, Man-Bat, Mary Marvel, Eclipso, Felix Faust, Witch Mark Cersei, New Avatar of the Green, Black Adam, and Arion Risen. June Moon, Man-Bat, and Mary provide standard boost in power at the cost of reverting them. Eclipso has +1 power for each sealed hero. Felix Faust and Witch Mark Cersei provide a recovery engine for equipment and superpowers. New Avatar of the Rot can take control of locations. Black Man Corrupted can put any number of cards with cost 5 or less and different card types from your discard pile into your hand. And Arion Risen has the effect +2 power. You may put your deck into your discard pile and put a card from your discard pile into your hand for easier access. For equipment, the Transformation Zone has doubles of Books of Magic and Moonblade New Moon. Books of Magic is the standard draw 2 cards. Moonblade Full Moon is +3 power attack. Each foe reveals the top card of their deck. You may seal one of those revealed cards. He can also revert if you have a cost 3 or greater sealed card. The oversized hero for Investments of Fate is Dr. Fate, Lord of Order. Once per turn, +1 power for each equipment and superpower you played this turn. He is the promo card for Justice League Dark. In closing, that's one way to combine the DC deck building sets. Remember, there's no single correct way to build your deck. These videos are here to inspire ideas and start conversations. What would you change? What other characters are we missing as main deck cards or oversized characters? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all the YouTube things. I'll see you on the next one.